As we haven't been on for about a week and a half with our move, let's talk a little foreign policy. I know it's all your favorites, and it's not going to be any different pretty much from where we've been. It's becoming more and more obvious that our foreign policy is horrible. It's really non-existent. We came in with some new ideas. The president had some great ideas to try to change the way things are, and he just didn't realize that you can change things with those who are dealing in good faith and those who are looking just to be the same and take advantage of your good nature. You have to deal with them differently. And the president is making a mistake dealing across the board with everybody the same. Vladimir Putin has us totally under his control. Sure, Crimea has taken over. When he moved in, there was no question, there was no pushing him back. But now he masses troops on the border of eastern Ukraine. He probably, but who knows, right? He probably isn't not going to make a move, but he's sure making the Ukrainians worried. Hopefully the Ukrainians are going to be able to defend themselves or at least make Putin's move in, if he decides to move in, one that's going to cost him a lot. But why should he? Putin's no dummy. He's a dictator. He's a dictator who's been hanging on for a while and knows what he's doing. He's just going to upset people, keeping the troops massed, moving the troops around without anybody knowing, funneling arms to his allies inside Ukraine, and making trouble and getting people to riot and start protests, which we'll probably see down the road, would be the best game he could play. And he can't lose doing it. It's on his border. To me, what's very unsettling is listening to those in this country who make excuses for him and try to draw parallels between us and him. I don't see 50,000 American troops massed on Mexico, ready to move in to invade and to try to force a government change. I don't see 50,000 troops massed on the Canadian border with us ready to talk about regime change. Yeah, we did it in the late 1800s, the middle 1800s, and even a little bit in the early 1900s, but that's not the United States, and we don't do that, and our neighbors like us and like having us as a neighbor. It's horrible, and for anybody to try to draw parallels, Iraq was a mistake, and we got out. We weren't looking there to conquer, to own. Syria, it's just getting worse and worse. Assad's doing his thing. He's rocking and rolling, and he's going to win. We're going to do nothing. President goes to Saudi Arabia. They don't care what he says. I talked to some people from Saudi Arabia the other day who I lived with or lived near, and they just really look down on the United States. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but they're considered an ally. And if you can't trust your ally, what are you doing? It's just not good. And now you have South Korea and North Korea blowing missiles into each other's, well, not missiles, I believe, just batteries into each other's water to let each other know they're pissed. And it's just not good. It's just not good. And it's just not good. I'm worried we're going to end up having a real proactive president probably in 2 years. She or he will have to take a much harder line, and we have another year and a half to go to see what's going to happen with our foreign policy before then. I'm very worried. We should be. And I'm telling you, those who are isolationists and the younger generations who are smart and working hard and happening, read your history. We don't teach history in school anymore. Read your history. When dictators move, you got to stop them, or at least let them know you're going to not put up with it. We have to do that. Don't have to do it with troops, but we have to do that. And we're doing really next to nothing right now. It's just a sad situation. When there's a vacuum, the United States backs out. The autocrats and the dictators step in. Really good for the world, isn't it? But it'll all work out. It always does. Peace.